Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. Today we're talking Trump. He wants to get rid of the Department of Education. Also, what really happened at Crosstown Concourse? And we also got the president of Lemoyne-Owen College, Memphis' only HBCU in the building. So don't go anywhere. Hit the subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I got my lovely, lovely co-host Angelica Jelly Woods in the building. Angelica's in the building. Okay, come on.
I ain't get no clap.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Give me my money.
My screen.
Right.
We got a screen, but okay.
Man, that is too funny, man. Y'all, it's a hard crowd and it's a tough crowd. Hey, give it up for my DJ. That's my DJ Kojak in the building. Hey, on them ones and twos. DJ Kojak, scratch it up for the good doctor 3-4 times, Kojak.
That's for LOC, man.
For the LOC. For the LOC. Now the question is, what is the question, Angelica? Just ask the question without any coloration.
Did you hear that scratch?
Doctor, did you hear the scratch?
I heard it.
Oh, that's my guy. That's what I'm talking about. That's my guy. That's what I'm talking about. She's been losing lately.
I heard that.
Right. So look, a lot of stuff happening in the news today. But before we jump into this stuff, we got to talk about what's happening Valentine's Day. This our next show, as a matter of fact, right? Look how she lights up when
because I love. I think everybody deserves love, and I feel like we're gonna give a chance for some good love. We're gonna play Connection, okay? Love Connection.
All right.
Do you remember that show?
I do.
So we're gonna do the Antonio Parkinson twist on this. So people are gonna have the opportunity to tag their good qualities.
They need to be tagging
Parkinson,
now, right?
I got a problem with Parkinson. He's trying to tag your ratchet friends. No, we don't want no ratchet. We want good quality women and men. I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at all this. Good quality women and men. That's, because sometimes they don't have good luck on love, and we want to make that connection live.
But some men want a ratchet woman.
That's their
what
problem.
they like.
But some men don't know what they want until you give it to them.
You sound like you know what men want.
I do.
Hey,
that's why I'm married.
Doc, who rats need love too?
Who rats need love too? Right. There's a market for it, right?
Ratchery. This is going downhill real quick.
Right. Yeah, and so we are tag your friends, y'all. Tag your friends. Because we are paying for an all expense paid, Valentine's Day dinner for a blind date couple at Mahogany River Terrace.
Yes.
Man, I would like it. I would like
my phone. Let me tag my wife.
Right. Your wife probably gonna get flown down at a 4-star, 5-star somewhere else that's outside the city. She don't want to. Yeah.
We can drive to Taco Bell. No need to fly.
Right. Yeah. Hey, but
you got a good one. That's right.
Yeah. So this Friday coming up, we are going to have those two individuals on the show. They will not have seen each other. They will not know who they are, who each other are. And we're going to have the male on the show on the first segment, the female on the second segment. And then we're going to bring them together in the third segment and see how this works out.
I know it's going to be good, y'all.
So y'all better make sure y'all tune in. But
single folks only, please.
Single folks only.
And nobody go with you.
Yeah.
Okay, you may not go with them, but somebody go with you. If you have a 2024 baby, or 2025 coming, then you cannot come. Okay,
that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That don't make it. They're not single. They're not single if they got a new baby. What woman has a new baby?
They go with you. They still go with you.
If the woman has a new baby, she can't come.
The woman can. The man can.
Oh, you see.
Let me see here.
If a woman out here, she over you,
man. Listen. If you are not married, you are single. So tag. Hey, put your own name. You can tag yourself. Tag yourself in there. tag your friends in there, and you may be the person, you may be the chosen one.
Yeah,
right.
And
You
we're
may
going to
be
the
the
wedding,
chosen
and then
one.
Parkinson is going to marry y'all.
Well, I do have the authority invested in me that I do have that authority vested in me.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Look at even Josh like this.
But you know what though? You know what? Hey, real talk. Have you looked at the list of tagged people in there? Man, there's some quality people in there.
Now don't try to pre-skim.
Because I know I tagged so many. I tagged so many.
Now we get what he said he did what? He lied.
I tagged so many people in there.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Pull up the receipts, Josh.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. I had to get on Kojak ass today, man. I said, Kojak, look, I sent 2 text messages.
Come on now.
The first text message I said, Kojak, you hadn't tagged none of the people in the commercial. No response. I sent the second text. I said, Kojak, make sure you reach out about that property in Millington. Oh, okay. What's the immediate response? My third text was to Kojak. I see you responded to the second one. Yeah, you didn't say nothing. It was crickets on the first one. Okay.
Now after that, I got it done. Your church, you got any eligible bachelors?
Yeah.
Men, because he's tagging all the women, the men.
I got bachelors and bachelorettes.
Tag
good. Yeah,
bring them.
Tag
them.
All right.
They might, a couple months later come to church and get married. Yeah.
See,
we're gonna do a follow-up. We're gonna do a follow-up. I want.
Yep. I saw it, man. I saw.
We made a connection.
It's some people in there. There's some interesting folks.
Don't be scared. I think he just tagging and looking at the pictures, skimming through, probably been in DMs.
These are my single friends. They are single. I tag dudes in there too.
I tag people too. You can be looking at the people I tagged
and I forgot the lady Queen. I forgot her name. Queen something goddess. Shout out to her. I'm sorry for not getting your handle right, but she tagged about 12 people in there. So
women or men?
I think they were her female friends. But
to me, women, we're the men at y'all.
Yeah.
It might be time for the DJ to play Booed Up.
Right. For real. Yeah, man. For real.
Can I put this disclaimer out here though? For Valentine's Day, I'm looking at the camera one more time. Listen, I don't care what the excuse is. If you ain't with that man on Valentine's Day, I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. I'm telling you right now, that is true, Nicole. Ain't that true? Not a day before, not a day after. Don't let that man make up no excuse. Okay, there we go. I get you.
Break up
to make up.
Don't Valentine's Day. They can say it's cliche, whatever. Who he want to be with on Valentine's Day.
But everybody got a different thing, man.
No, that's not true.
That is.
But
everybody's stuff is cookie cutter.
But if he had like Parkinson, if it's you make it very clear that you don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
I think it's a gimmick.
Okay, but so you just don't stumble upon it when it's convenient when Valentine's Day comes. That's what I'm saying.
Valentine's Day is every day.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, and if you are taking care of your people every day, it shouldn't be a problem. If you don't,
you work every day and you get bonus hours, don't you? You get Valentine's Day bonus.
You giving bonuses on Valentine's Day?
I might.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm married. I might get bonuses. I might give a bonus tonight. I'm married. I can do what I want.
Bonus, baby. Right. Bonus.
He ain't getting nothing. I'm just.
Look. Hey, dang.
Leave me alone.
I hope he is watching.
She said that. I hope nobody tag him.
Right. Oh.
You 3 strikes. We ain't even in this episode. Wait a minute.
Hey, them women, they love bitch.
Hey.
Oh God.
Yeah. Look at Angela.
Yeah, connect. Yeah, make sure y'all can pay the mortgage. Just slide into my DM. If you can do these things and pay for the nanny, we can figure something out.
Be careful,
really? Slide into your DM.
Yeah, if they want them, we can pay for the nanny.
You talking about a dude sliding into your DM? What we
People don't slide in my DM, first of all.
Okay.
You know what they say, don't you?
What?
Everybody that says scat cat, somebody else say, here, kitty.
Right. Yes, sir.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
That's on Parkinson.
Yes, sir. Yeah, hey, believe it or not, y'all, we actually got a show today. So but y'all tag your folks in this. It's going to be a fun show. Tag your folks, and we're going to pick the person by no later than Tuesday, so we can get them prepared to be here on the show Friday. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun and funny because we're going to ask the hard questions.
I'm really gonna ask.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
look, on a more serious note, President Trump is trying to abolish the federal Department of Education. And so I think we got a little video on it. Josh, run that video.
We spend more per pupil than any other country in the world, and we're ranked at the bottom of the list. We're ranked very badly. And what I want to do is let the states run schools. I believe strongly in school choice, but in addition to that, I want the states to run schools. And I want Linda to put herself out of a job. If I could give the schools back to Iowa and Idaho and Indiana and all these places that run properly, there's many of them. I think so. If you look at the list, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, believe it or not, China's doing very well on that list, a list of well-educated, where they run their school system well. You have a lot of countries, not surprising names. I think that if you moved our schools into some of these states that are really well-run states, they would be as good as Denmark and Norway and Sweden and some of the other states. I think I'd work with Congress. I think we'd have to work with the teachers union, because the teachers union is the only one that's opposed to it. Nobody else would want to hold them back. Look, we have to tell the teachers union, we're rated last in the world in education of the top 40.
The president is trying to abolish the Department of Education.
Right.
That includes, higher ed also.
Right.
Right. How will that affect Lemoyne and everything that you're doing over there?
Well, of course, when you start talking about the Department of Ed, what you're really talking about is our federal funding.
Mhm.
And of course, just a week or so ago, my students were panicked because they were trying to figure out what this means for Pell Grants, things of that nature.
Yeah.
But of course, we do know that the initial executive order was around organizations, institutions. Pell Grant is individual money that goes to the individual student.
Right.
So how does it impact an institute like Lemoyne? Title $3.
Yeah.
We talk about Title $3. You're talking about essentially Education Act of 1965, so Title III, which basically gave us federal funds to prop up those programs that we ordinarily could not cover in terms of our operating budget. We talk about a school like Lemoyne, you're talking about campus safety, campus security, our new cyber security program, improvements and upgrades to the buildings and so forth. So with Lemoyne, you're talking about roughly probably 15-20% of our operating revenue comes from federal dollars.
My goodness, that's huge. And you think about, so what he's saying is, we'll abolish the Department of Education at the federal level and kick it back down to the states, for the states to control, those dollars.
Well, of course, if you kick it back down to the state, let's look at the elephant in the room. Take Tennessee, for instance. You've got 7 HBCUs, 6 public, 6 private, which Lemoyne, and 1 public.
Right.
Look at what's going on with the public right now in the state of Tennessee. So that says it all.
Yeah, that gives you a roadmap, basically, of how the state would be handling, HBCUs and how they would be treated.
I have a question too. With the funding of HBCUs, what about alumni support? Because that goes to the Black Dollar. But I just want to know that, like, you may not know this. Do you get a lot of support? Like, how are universities really good at this? They have a lot of alumni that donate back to their university, which is Black Dollars. Do you guys get a high significant number for that?
It's increasing. It's certainly not where it needs to be. In fact, I think right now, we've set as a project, as a stretch goal, we're looking for 85% alumni engagement. And I think a lot of times what alumni miss is, when we talk about alumni engagement, if you give $1, you know what I'm saying, that speaks to a level of engagement. I think a lot of times what alumni don't know is when we go to private foundations and donors and so forth, one of the first questions they ask us is, what's your alumni giving?
Yeah.
What's your level of alumni engagement?
Yeah.
And often they dictate their level of support based on what your alumni do. Because they're saying, hey, if they went to the school, if they benefited from what you all offering, and they're not supporting, why should we give them money?
That's what a lot of nonprofits, board don't support. They be like, okay, what I'm gonna give you some money for? The support should be internal. So I was wondering.
Yeah, but that correlates to elected officials too.
Absolutely.
It's the hardest. It's like pulling chicken teeth. You ever tried to pull chicken teeth?
Hadn't tried that one.
Right. It's like pulling chicken teeth.
Feathers, but not chicken teeth.
Think about pulling the teeth out of a beak. It's like pulling chicken teeth to get our people to support us, financially, but these other people, they pour into the coffers because they got agendas. Right. But you think about, HBCUs, you are you are comfortable. Your family is comfortable. Your generations have changed because of your involvement or you having that HBCU opportunity in your life.
Well, here's the reality. There would be no black middle class in Memphis without Lamar Owen College.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Come
Okay,
on, man.
turn
Speak.
up,
And we got to clap for that.
There would be no black middle
man.
class.
Yeah, man.
Because think about it now. When you start talking about black middle class historically, when you say, what are you talking about? You're talking about school teachers, principals, educators. The reality is before schools were integrated in Memphis, all of your black educators in both Memphis City and Shelby County School were essentially all Lamar Owen alum.
Wow.
So we built the black middle class in this city, and we helped to sustain it. You know, people often talk about the give you prime example. People talk about the yellow fever epidemic that hit the city of Memphis, with half of the population left the city. Well, the half that left didn't look like us. The folks that stayed, I mean, rather the folks that stayed were us.
Right.
So while the yellow fever epidemic was going on, the Lamar Owens doors were still open for both college students and high school students. So even coming out of the yellow fever epidemic, any education that took place on the campus of Lamar College.
Come on,
We
man.
getting some black history.
That's
today.
it.
Black
So
history
you
month,
wouldn't even
okay?
have a middle
Yellow
class in this
Yeah.
city without us.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that history of yellow fever, but we're gonna have to come back on that one because
Right.
that's a
Black
real
History Month,
story.
yeah.
That's a real. We're gonna talk about Black History Month too. Black History Month is every month. But go ahead,
Oh,
Coach Jack, you got a
Lord.
question?
Well, I just circle
Yeah,
back
yeah,
around.
yeah. Right.
I was gonna say, how important is the black dollar with this, with the whole the DEI initiative going on? How important is the black dollar? That a lot of companies are moving away from it.
Right. And let me help to set that up. So you look at Trump's push to get rid of DEI nationally, and a lot of these corporations were excited about, finally we can get rid of this shit, right? And and some of the HBCUs have relationships with these corporations. So and to Kojak's point, how important now more than ever is that black dollar to Lamar.
Absolutely, because the truth of the matter is, in terms of when we look at the black dollar and what we've invested in other organizations, other institutions, what I'm hoping is when you look at some of our best and our brightest who've chosen to go to other institutions, they will in turn begin, not just Lamar and HBCUs across the board, because at the end of the day, particularly when you look at, I had a young man in my church, to give you a prime example, his dream was always to go to MIT. Got in MIT, full ride. Then at the 9th hour, he suddenly decides he wants to go to Alabama A&M, HBCU, graduated, doing well, working in the field. He's an engineer even now. So I asked him one day, you always wanted to go to MIT. Why'd you change your mind? And here's what he said to me that was absolutely profound. He says, when you start talking about minorities in the engineering field, you're talking about less than 1%. He said, it make no difference what school I went to, I would still be less than 1%. So if I've got to be a part of the less than 1% in the job market, why go to an institution and be a part of it? He said, so I decided I was going where my identity was affirmed, it was celebrated, it was appreciated, so that I'd at least get that love in college, even if I didn't get it in the private sector. He said, so why would go without it in college and then go without it, in the professional sector, which makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. Along those lines too, I had a great opportunity to meet with some of the heads of NVIDIA. We know that NVIDIA is the top, AI producer in America and top stock in America right now, big ball players, right? And there's a brother that's in that top leadership position, and maybe in the top 5 leadership position at NVIDIA, believe it or not. And I had a chance to talk to him, and he said this. He said, AI, we're in the baby stages of AI still. Thank God we're still in the baby stages. And he said, the problem is that those developers that are inputting the information into the AI system for the output, they don't look like us.
They don't look like us.
And so he's fighting to get more of those individuals that are in computer engineering, coding, this, that, and other, to look like us, because the outputs, when you go into Chat GPT or one of these other AI platforms, DeepSeek or whatever, and you put in, African American woman, it may spit something out that looks like something from another culture, because this is all what they think they know about who we are. And so to the young in the cat's point that the story you just told, we have no idea how vitally important it is for us to get our kids in tech now.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah. And the reason, well, a couple of things. A part of the reason we want to get our kids into the math and science, into tech, is because even when you look at standardized tests, ACT, SAT, listen, the only thing that's universal is the math and the science. When you start talking about the rest of it, it's culturally biased. So the only thing that's universal are math and science, because they're governed by set laws. When you start talking about everything else in terms of, we look at it through our own cultural bias. And so we have to sort of own that. Even when you talk about STEM, tech, science, technology, and all that kind of good stuff, HBCUs account for 3%, 3% of the students that are in higher ed.
My goodness.
Wow.
But we make up 80% of the graduates.
Come on.
What? Wow.
80% of the individuals that are operating in those fields are HBCU graduates.
My goodness, that's applaudable. That's
Right.
incredible.
So we're the one that's flooding the market.
With everything that's going on, with the moves that's happening, to eliminate, diversity, equity, and inclusion. One of the things that I posted on my Facebook page, and I'm y'all, they might come for me when I say this, but I'm gonna say it.
Oh Lord help! Let me brace
Listen.
myself.
Trump's. I actually like the fact that Trump is doing the things that he's doing.
Oh, can we clip this? Can I do the editing?
It will be. It will
Can I
be.
do the editing?
And here's why I'm saying I like it, because all of the things that Trump's administration is doing is going to force us back to community.
Yep, it
back
is.
to think about it.
You get an argument out of the man.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, we
Back
come
to
together.
community, right? Where we are dependent upon each other,
Yes.
where we are leaning on each other, where we love each other again, where we shop with each other again, where we you go to the neighbor's house and you have dinner, so like it was before.
Come on, Black Wall Street.
Right. Come on.
Look at Target. Look at Target.
Yeah.
Look, just in this short period of time, how the black dollar has power. A lot of people think it doesn't have an effect, but it does. They have a lawsuit right now by their stakeholders, right? Pulling back their DI initiatives, like the Black History Month, the little shells we get. And their stakeholders are mad. They have a lawsuit because of the power of the black dollar with Target. So we keep this going. And even Pastor Jamal Bryant, he has a big thing starting in March. Let's fast and let's cut out Target.
Right.
The only somebody who doesn't understand the power of the black dollar are black folks.
Exactly.
You just said something.
Thank you.
That's the only somebody who doesn't understand.
Conversation.
Right.
Yes.
But let me further qualify before we wrap this segment up. Is that the interestingly enough, the reason why you would ask yourself, why are the Target stakeholders mad at Target for ending their DEI program, but they're also mad at them for ending their LGBTQ program too? Here's why. A lot of people don't realize, there are pension funds invested in these stocks.
That's right.
Hear me now. There's a police department in California that their pension fund is invested in Target stock. When the Target stock drops, which it did, 22% in November 2024.
Shout out, gonna get worse.
When it dropped, their pension fund lost money. Now you think about it, right? And that's people's retirement.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot riding on these decisions that are being made, from these corporations, because there are a lot more people and a lot more wheels that are invested and turning to make these corporations what they are. Yeah. And so we're going to end this segment right there, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to talk about what everybody in Memphis is talking about, the crosstown melee. And so, makes So look, don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
I can't say no to Hey, it's Senator London Lamar, and you're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.